Hello and welcome to Thoughtful Thursdays with Pastor Kristin. For those of you who are used to watching it live, I'm coming on to you a little bit later than usual today. Had a full morning already today, but also wanted to drop in to your day today and bring you a little message and a little music and hopefully brighten up your Thursday. As some of you know, I was away. Stephen and I were away this last weekend. We were in Wichita, Kansas for the ordination of now Pastor Eric Jensen. Eric was a confirmation student of mine in my first call, and it has been a super fun journey with him from those confirmation days to college, and I'm never going to be a pastor, PK, to him realizing that call and starting seminary, going on internship, graduating, and receiving his first call in Preston, Iowa. And so it was a super fun weekend, super great to be there with him and celebrate his ordination into Word and Sacrament ministry. One of the things that pastors are called to do, but we are all called to do, is to share the story of Jesus. And the hymn of the day that Eric chose was an old familiar song that many of us probably know and maybe love, called I Love to Tell the Story. And so I wanted to share that today because it is a great song. I have some great memories of it. I remember singing it when I was youth directing in my home church, which meant it was the church I grew up in. And so there were people in that church that I had been teaching as they were students that were a part of youth group. But there were also people in that congregation that had taught me that story for so many years as I was growing up there. And so it is just, I think, a powerful song to tell the story to those who have never heard and to tell the story to those who know it best. Both of those groups of people love to hear the story, and so it is a joy to tell it. And in thinking about that, I wanted to share a couple of verses with you from 2 Corinthians chapter 3. Paul is writing to the church in Corinth and writes, "You yourselves are our letter, written on our hearts, known and read by all. And you show us that you are a letter of Christ, prepared by us, written not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living God, not on tablets of stone, but on tablets that are human hearts." That story of Jesus and the story of God's love has been written on each of our hearts through those people who have taught us, who have told us that story and have helped that story to be written on our hearts. And so it is not only our joy, but also our baptismal call to continue to share that story with those who have never heard it, but also to share that story with those who know it best as we continue to tell the story of Jesus and his love to everyone around us. It seems more and more important for us to be bold enough to tell the story that the God we worship is a God of love and grace, not a God of judgment and hate. And so as we are bold to tell our own stories and the ways that Jesus has touched our lives, we tell those stories to each other, and hopefully we are sharing those stories with the world as well. And so I hope you are finding ways to tell your own story of God's love. And if you know this song, I welcome you to sing it out loud and proud, or in your head if you are somewhere in public that would not welcome that. Sorry, couple of chords there that are a little rough for me. If you know it, sing along in your heart or right out loud. I love to tell the story of unseen things above, of Jesus and his glory, of Jesus and his love. I love to tell the story because I know it's true. It satisfies my longings as nothing else would do. My theme in glory, to tell the old story of Jesus and his love. I love to tell the story, how pleasant to repeat what seems each time I tell it more wonderfully sweet. I love to tell the story, for some have never heard the message of salvation from God's own holy word. I love to tell the story, 'twill be my theme in glory, to tell the old story of Jesus and his love. I love to tell the story, for those who know it best seem hungering and thirsting to hear it like the rest. And when in scenes of glory I sing, why can't I get that chord right? Sing the new song. I'll sing the old story that I have loved so long. I love to tell the story, 'twill be my theme in glory, to tell the old story of Jesus and his love. Just the refrain one more time. I love to tell the story, 'twill be my theme in glory, to tell the old story of Jesus and his love. As you make your way through these days of Lent, we are over halfway through, or just halfway through, about halfway through this season of Lent. I pray that you are finding ways to both tell that story as well as to hear the story, because just as much as we need to tell our stories of encountering Jesus' love and grace, it is also good for us to hear the stories of others. And so I hope you are finding ways to both tell and hear stories of Jesus and his love during this season of Lent and always. I invite you to join us for worship at All Saints on Sunday at 9:30. You can find us live on Facebook at that time, or posted to Facebook and YouTube later in the afternoon. Welcome you to join us for worship anytime you are able. And between now and then, I hope you remember that God loves you, and so do I. Bye, everybody.